This video is on soil erosion, which is one of our largest concerns as soil managers. So first of all, we have to start out with the definition of erosion. It is the wearing away of the land, detachment, or movement of soil or rock. So as I mentioned, it's one of our most destructive outcomes of mismanagement and theorized to be the collapse of several previous civilizations, whether that is erosion or just soil degradation. So degradation, what's the definition of that? A reduction in the capacity of land to provide ecosystem goods. So really, degraded soil can't support the plant life, the animal life, microbial life that it used to, and sort of causes a shift in the ecosystem type that it can support. A form of degradation is desertification, which is the spreading of desert-like conditions. And this can be caused by poorly managed grazing, agriculture, and forest clearing are several examples. So how does degradation happen? Both physically, chemically, and biologically. So compaction and crusting can cause limited water infiltration, limited plant growth, which can lead to soil loss, acidification or salt accumulation, and loss of biological diversity, and erosion. So that's 80 or greater than 85% of the annual degradation is caused by erosion. So erosion transforms soil into sediment, so a sort of displaced soil. There's naturally occurring geological erosion, and if it's naturally occurring, then why are we so worried about it? Examples of geological erosion are canyons or the rounding of mountains, building of river deltas, but it's really the rate at which the erosion occurs naturally versus human influenced. So sediment loads, some factors are the exposure, the amount of degradation, plant cover, loss of nutrients, and then these all sort of loop back together. So if we have reduced plants, reduced nutrients for plant growth, then we have increases in exposure and increases in degradation. As I mentioned, it's human accelerated, so humans move twice as much soil as nature annually. Then we're going to consider how we are moving that soil or degrading that soil. Farmland, improper farming practices can cause tons of erosion, the formation of these gullies after a hard spring rain or fall rain, windblown erosion if left uncovered during winter are all examples of farmland degradation. Forestry clear-cuts causing massive gullies to form all over the world, in the US, Africa, South America, Asia happens. Construction practices, it's not uncommon to see, places like this that maybe had already removed the silt fence. Maybe silt fence was never installed, but we get a good strong rain, and that compacted soil can't allow the water to infiltrate, so it flows off the slope, and then is moving tons of soil off the landscape into streets, into storm sewers, or wherever. Mining practices, we're often causing some pretty big water movement changes, and that can lead to some pretty extreme erosion. Another example for us around here would be changes in Lake Michigan, causing a lot of lakeshore erosion in the past couple of years. So damages can be both on-site, so loss of topsoil, that's our most valuable soil as far as crop production, and the loss of nitrogen and organic matter that goes along with that. Plant diseases, surface crusting, and loss of other plant materials. Off-site damages, so water quality. We'll talk more about water later in the course, but physical and chemical factors of water can get altered. Sedimentation, crop loss, transportation, loss of reservoirs or reservoir quality. Windblown sand can cause issues with transportation as well as health hazards, brown lung during the Dust Bowl, things like that. Also loss in soil productivity. So this is increases the cost to maintain crop quality changes in irrigation, fertilization, liming requirements, and can cause, a quarter reduction in crop yield, 20 to 40% reduction as a result of the damages. So these are some estimates. Annual costs in the U.S. only of damages from soil erosion and degradation are about 10 to 50. Let's see what I got here: hundreds, thousands, millions, billions of dollars. Then we add on the off-site costs of 12 to 40 billion dollars, and we have a total of 22 to 90,000 billion dollars. It's a large range, but even if we go on the low side of that, $22 billion in damages due to lost soil and soil degradation in the U.S. alone. And then globally, the agricultural cost is estimated to be greater than $500 billion. And so this is why soil erosion is such a huge, huge issue, and one that we need to focus on managing and protecting our soils. If you remember, it takes roughly 1,000 years for an inch of soil to be built, and in some of these events, in these single events, we can lose all of that. In our lifetimes, as humans, we need to protect the soil and manage them properly to make sure that our civilizations can continue at the sort of most severe extent. In the next video, we will cover the water erosion and that side of it.